guys, today I want to do a quick video for you on my top tips for returning to work after your maternity leave. For me, returning to work was the hardest thing I've ever had to do, and I suffered from a lot of anxiety around it. It was a really huge wrench for me. I went back to work when my son was 10 months old. I went back 4 days a week with my first son, and with my second son Caleb, I went back to work 3 days a week when he was 1. So I'm really lucky I got a long maternity leave with both of them, but it's still really hard, and the guilt you feel is huge. So I've been back at work now for 2 months, and I thought I would share my top tips with you that maybe make home life easier and make the whole transition a little bit easier. If you're about to return to work, you've no doubt sorted out your childcare, so it's a good idea to do a dry run with settling in visits, whether it be at a nursery, a childminder, your sister, your mom, or whoever it is. It's best to do a practice. Doing a dry run will really help you with getting some of your emotions out and make you and your baby feel more comfortable with the whole process. And when your baby has a settling in visit, don't do what I did. I went home and cried for about 3 hours. Book something fun. Go for afternoon tea with a girlfriend. Go for a beauty treatment. Do something that you can't do with a baby, just to help take your mind off it and make it not so painful. The second tip is get organized. This might seem like a no-brainer, but it makes such a difference if you're organized. Lists are your friends. I keep a list on my phone of little admin-y things that I need to get done. Even things that I need to get done at work, like buy a birthday card, pay the gas bill. We also keep a shopping list next to our fridge so that me and my husband can add to it as soon as anything's run out. That way we can both see the list and pick up bits as and when we can. Now this is a big one for me. Get things ready the night before. Get everything ready. Nursery bag, baby bag, school uniform if you have older children. What are you going to wear? Iron it. Have it all ready. This just really helps with the mad rush in the morning, and when my baby has a nursery day, I even pack the bag and put it in the car so that literally all they have to do is get up, get fed and clothed, and out the door. Meal planning is a big one for me. It really helps me to stay organized. We have a big chalkboard in our kitchen. I'll write it on a Sunday and then I'll get all the ingredients on my day off on a Monday. And this just really helps me get organized and stick to a budget. If you don't fancy one of the meals during the week, because sometimes you don't always, you can swap them around because you have lots of choices. Use a slow cooker. It's the best thing ever. You can throw things in it at breakfast time and come home to a delicious smelling house and dinner's done and you're like super mom. Freeze ahead. When I went back to work with our first son, we bought a second small freezer for our garage so that I could make baby food and big batches of chili or chicken pie or whatever it was and put it in the freezer for the future. I just tend to cook more than we need now and just throw it in the freezer. For example, I'll make a big batch of chili that would feed like 12 people and I'll put it in the freezer in little separate Ziploc bags, and then every week I'll pull one out for like 6 weeks on chili night. This just makes it really easy, and it's a healthy dinner and it's homemade and it's yummy. Internet food shopping is a mom's best friend. When you can, do your big shop online, and then that way you only have to pick up little bits from the corner store if you've forgotten it. My next tip is lower your standards or hire help. You may want to live in a show home, but you might just have to accept that this is not going to happen for a while. When you're on maternity leave, it's easy to clean and tidy when your baby's having a nap, but obviously when you're back at work it's a lot trickier. We have a cleaner that comes every other week, so I can manage the day-to-day and tidying a little bit, but every other week it's really nice to have a professional come in and do a deeper clean. We used to have a gardener because my husband spent so much time gardening on the weekends rather than spending time with the boys, so we hired a gardener, but recently we actually laid fake lawn like AstroTurf in our garden, and this makes such a difference. It always looks perfect and the kids can jump around and go crazy on it. It's zero maintenance, and now my husband can spend more time in the garden playing football with the kids than in the garden pulling weeds. Right, my next tip is spend quality time with them. When you are on your precious days off, don't spend it hoovering or washing. Save that for when they're napping. I always make sure that I'm at home during their long nap, which my son still has a 2-hour nap. So I'm at home and I can do my housekeeping then. So when I'm actually with my baby, I spend quality time with him. I'll book a music class or take him swimming. Do something that you feel like you've made the most of that day off, and it really does help with the level of guilt you feel. My next tip is work as a team. We live in the 21st century, so you and your husband or partner, whoever, need to do things equally if you're both working. Now they may have been a bit spoiled because you probably just had a long time off and they're used to coming home to a clean house with dinner on the table and everything done. But they may need a gentle reminder that now you're back at work and you need some more help around the house. Obviously, don't nag or struggle with things on your own. If you want some more help around the house, just sit your partner down when they're in a good mood and ask them how you can, make things easier around the house. Chances are that if it's their idea, it will work better. Men love to think that it's their idea. I hope my husband isn't watching this. Right, my next tip is don't vent at work. It may be really tempting to go into the office if you've been up all night with an ill or teething baby and tell everyone how hard you have it and how tired you are when you're supposed to perform in a meeting. But just don't. Be professional and keep going. The colleagues of yours that have older children probably forgotten how hard it is, and the colleagues of yours that don't have children yet, they really don't care how hard it is. So just suck it up and go home and have an early night. Just don't moan at work. My final tip is just think positive. You're doing the best thing for your career and for your family. Your baby is going to form new bonds with family members or make new friends at school and have peers and be more outgoing and social, and it's all good. It's going to be fine. And there are lots of studies and reports out that have said that mums that work part-time are actually happier than mums that solely stay at home and raise their baby. So obviously guilt and motherhood go hand in hand, and there's just no getting away from it. You're always going to feel some sort of guilt, but just think about the positive things, go to work, have a little bit of adult conversation and enjoy it as much as you can. The face that you get when you come home and your baby is so excited to see you is priceless. So the first 3 to 4 weeks are going to be really hard and so emotional, but once you get through it and you're in your routine, you'll be absolutely fine. So I want to say good luck to you if you're returning to work soon from maternity leave. Please give me a like if you thought this video was useful, and please comment down below if you have any other tips, because I've literally just returned to work as well, so any other organisational tips or anything, I'd love to hear from you. Feel free to subscribe if you like what you see. Thanks a lot.